Hi everyone, warm welcome back to the channel. Dave here from the Caravantastic crew. Hope you're all doing good. Got a coffee on the go. And I'm on my own. So just wanted to give you, before we get into this video, update on a couple of things to look out for. Next week's video is going to be all about me fitting a new jack that I've ordered. This Kojak Lite caravan jack system. I was actually prompted by one of my fellow YouTubers, James at Caravan Escapades. Noticed he had a puncture. He was doing a video all about a puncture he got up at the storage yard and him changing it, and that he'd got this Kojak system on. And I've got to be honest, never heard of him. And I've got to be honest, I've always been really worried about what I would do in the event of a puncture. So it prompted me to do the right thing and get ahead of the game. I'll probably call Mayday, to be fair, or Green Flag. For some strange reason I've got both of those. What would happen if I was in an area where there was no phone signal? Because often when you're caravanning, you're out and about in the sticks, that is the case. So yeah, I'll do a video on that next week, and thanks to James for the prompt, really appreciate it. I will give James a mention next week in the video, and also put a link in to his channel as well, Caravan Escapades. We're going away on the weekend, this weekend coming. We've got our grandson Tom in tow with us. He's 15. We're doing something we don't normally do. We're actually going to go to a family holiday park with the caravan. They've got a touring site at the side. It's Searles at Hunstanton. A few of you may know it. We're not really into those sorts of things, if I'm completely honest, but because we've got Tom with us, we thought we'd try something different. And we've had a look at a couple of other YouTubers, Rob's Wise Ways being one of them, who visited there not that long ago. And from what I could see of it, I thought maybe I could stomach a few days on a family holiday park. Not normally our thing. We normally go for the quieter, tranquil places, but with grandchildren in tow, then that might work quite well. So look out for that one coming up as well. The weather is just tremendous. We're into February, lovely bright sunny days. Yes, cold frosty nights, but have you noticed that the days are getting longer, and that's really getting us all excited about caravanning. So much so that actually last week we decided to take a trip out to Greentrees Caravan Store at Dereham, in the heart of Norfolk. There are a number of caravan dealers in Norfolk. I think Greentrees is probably the biggest, and James is one of the sales managers there. Sold us our first ever caravan. But we decided we'd have a drive up and have a look round at some vans, because we keep toying with the idea of maybe, and I do stress the word maybe, upgrading. So we went and had a look round, spoke to James actually while we were there, and he kindly gave us permission to get the camera out and film. And what we were particularly interested in was the Swift Conqueror. The 580 was the initial attraction, but right next door was the 560. So we looked at both. And then we've got this thing going on about which do we prefer. One's got the end double bedroom at the back, and then the other one's got this transverse island bed more in the middle of the caravan. So have a little look at the video, see what you think. I'm very interested in your opinion, because James did, without seeing our caravan, potentially offer us a very good trade-in based on the book price and one thing and another. And it would mean that we'd need to put about £20,000 to the purchase. Don't do hire purchase and stuff like that anymore. When you get to my age and retired, you know, this is not on the card. So it would be 20 grand of our hard-earned cash would have to be taken out of the big pot and sent over to them. And the bit that keeps going through my mind is it worth the £20,000 upgrade from where we are to where we might be? I've got to tell you, fallen in love with the Conqueror. So take a look, tell us what you think. Would you pay the extra 20 grand? Put it in the comments below, or would you stick with what you've got? I mean, what we've got currently is it's not broken, so why fix it? It does everything that we need it to do. It gets us to where we want to go. We get it serviced regularly. I'm forever, you know, every winter covering up my cushions and stuff like that, Graham. So yeah, have a look. Give us your feedback. What would you do in our situation? Stay with what you've got, or would you pay the 20 grand and upgrade? So just having a look at the Swift Conqueror at the moment. This is a 580, it's a 2023 model, and got the transverse island bed. Nice and wide, much wider than what we have currently. And the cash price here is $35,895. We'll take a close look at the outside in a minute, but I just want to pop in because Helen's already there. She couldn't wait to get in. Hello, anybody in? We're just going in for a look round. First impressions?
Oh, it's wider than ours. And you've got a bigger window at the front here, look.
Yeah, much wider, isn't it? Yeah.
I like the fact there's no wood in it. It's just my own preference. Well, there is a little bit of wood, but it's mostly...
Yeah, it sort of blends in well, doesn't it, with the rest of the...
I like that.
So it's quite neutral, I think that's the thing. Let's have a closer inspection then. So we're not trying to compare with what we've got, but what we were thinking of is potentially upgrading our van. And for me, I'd like to go wider, which this is. This looks like it's 8 feet. I'll check the spec in a minute. I'd have liked to have an L shape, but it's not essential. These seats here do look rather comfortable, don't they? I think this is brand new. Looks it. Oh, it's comfy. Plenty of leg room for. See, normally if there's two people like me sat down, we're touching knees at this point. I can really feel the difference with that extra bit of width. Ooh, missus. Nice wide top here, Helen. So you can put a TV on here if you wanted to. Certainly get your lamps and your ornaments and bits and pieces. There is a TV point down here as well. So that's the obvious place for it. That's an interesting bit of lighting in the corner. I'm assuming that's what it is. I like the curtains as well.
Yeah.
Now, there's more room up here. In terms of locker space, much more room than we have currently. I would imagine this probably opens out. Yes, it does. So, I mean, that's
that bit doesn't open.
That's a bit of a dead space for us. We do use that space, but you have to tuck stuff in from over here in our van. So that's extra for us. Soft close as well, which is nice. In terms of the kitchen, you've got the usual lift up to extend your worktop surface here. So that's quite good. Nice big bowl, isn't it? I think someone's been doing a bit of drilling or something here because there's a lot of stuff underneath that mixer tap. We'll come back to the kitchen. So you've got power points and you've got USB chargers in the corner. One power point over here and your aerial for your TV. You've got a USB. Oh, you haven't. Is that a USB on here as well? Yeah, you've got a USB in the light at the front. And the same over here, and actually all those spots have got USBs on, so it's quite good.
We've got an extractor which we miss.
Yeah, I must admit we had that in our Bailey. We don't have it in the van currently, and every time I make a bit of toast, the alarm goes off and the dog jumps out of its skin, doesn't it? Yeah, nice wide windows at the front. That panoramic window is good. You've then got obviously the usual skylight here. Again, bigger than the one we have currently slightly because it's wider. So you'd expect it. Did notice curtains to the front but no curtains on the side. Now, so you just got the blind, got a fly screen. And then probably lift up, I should think, from here. Yeah, so your blinds are lifted up. Or of course you can go half hour. To be honest with you, we never close the curtains in the caravan, do we? So really not a problem for us. Yeah. So that's good, I like that. So somewhere over here there will be, yeah, I thought as much. That is your controller for your aerial. It's a Sergeant booster for TV. Never seen one of those before actually. Radio module, antenna in. Not too sure about that, exactly what that is. Space over here. Somewhere there's got to be a radio knocking about. No, there isn't. Maybe then that'll come through your TV
so
these days.
The window and the door because it's big. Well, it's longer, isn't it?
It's bigger than what we've got. Yeah.
The mirror's quite nice here.
No
the
power,
fridge.
so I can't turn the power on here. But what you've got is your Aldi hot water and heating controller here. So it's got Aldi heating in it, and then the Swift command centre there, control everything. So you quite like this, do you?
This is actually only a single axle, and we're seeing this in some of the single axles now. They're putting the long, thin fridges in. They're slightly bigger than the other.
Yeah, that is actually. It's much bigger than what we've got, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's on this side opposed to the other side.
Good size icebox there as well.
Yeah.
Does that open up? Yeah, good size icebox. So that's actually
So I
an
quite
improvement,
like that.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Does it open both ways?
Yes.
That's also useful.
You've got
Just-
2 cupboards as well. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cupboards above and below.
Yeah.
Ah, so there's the booster for the
Yeah.
TV aerial. So that last one then must have been to do with radio. You've got another cupboard at the bottom there. Good place to put pans or shoes or whatever you want to keep in it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Quite handy. Just over the wheel. So good sized cupboards here in terms of the kitchen. So a big drawer, isn't it? For your cutlery
Oh yeah.
and utensils. That's quite good. Soft clothes again. And a good size underneath as well.
Oh yeah. So the tins.
Pull out for your tins, keep your drainer and your chopping board and all that under here. And then that's a really good sized cupboard actually. Thetford cooker, all brand spanking new. So again, it's got 3 gas, 1 electric hob, so it's dual fuel. The grill, the oven there, and again another cupboard underneath where you would definitely keep the old frying pan. And that looks like a plug-in for the microwave, which is up here on top. Can't see any branding on that, but how does that open? There we go. Let's see if we can see branding anywhere. Appleson.
So where would you put the tin?
So your TV would sit on the front there, on that front.
'Cause
That's
we've
why
got
it's so
the
wide.
there that we've got.
Yeah, but I think I'd prefer this other TV here. It could sit right on the back, couldn't it? Up here on that shelf. Because you've got the usual extendable tables. And it's nice and sturdy as well. Which I like. Can you just push that for us, please? That's quite good. And then it's a big, deep pull-out drawer with another little slider inside. I'm liking this van lane. Well, that draws a bit. Yes, sir. I'm liking it.
Well, I quite like the extras in it. The bedroom layout's the same apart from it's wider, which is what we wanted. But we wanted to have a look at the bed from the back facing down, didn't we?
Yeah.
Not transverse.
I'd say I'm just looking at the heating system. Is it an oldie heating system?
But it looks like blow
Because
air.
that looks like blow air to me, yeah. Not too sure what this unit is here that's flashing away.
Well, it's not all in here. So I'm not sure.
Maybe it's just a vent then for the Aldi, but Aldi would normally... Oh yeah, it looks like it is Aldi. If that runs round, you can't tell can without
I
lift.
don't feel this bit. It's like suede or really soft.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah. Let's just have a little nose under here because I'm curious now. Can you hold that for me? Let's see what we've got going on. I'm not sure if that is an Aldi system. There'd be a boiler under here. Well, we certainly have one, unless it's in the corner. Let's have a little nose. Yes, it is. The boiler's there. So it is an Aldi heating system. I'll check with James actually. James is the one of the sales managers here. He sold us our first ever caravan. Did James? So what's different over here? Oh, I didn't mention twin 13 amp sockets. We've only got one in the kitchen of our Sterling. There's twin here, and I do like the fact the sideways on because you can get that allows you to have the double socket.
Well, you've still got the corner cupboard, the unit, but we can have the TV in our bedroom, but you can't because of this big mirror cupboard.
Yeah, we wouldn't get TV in here, would we? Big cupboard there, bigger than what we have. So I think that's the sacrifice. There is actually, you say that, I'm just looking underneath, and there is a TV socket there. So if you've got a very slim TV that you could stand on here, then you may.
It would have to be thin, wouldn't
It would have to be thin. It would have to be very much like me to get that in there. But good vanity mirror. Very nice transverse bed. And because you've got the extra width here, plenty of room to get round. We do, when we have the bed extended, it's quite tight for us, so you'd have a bit more. Also, you've got the USB chargers at the side of the bed, which is good. Light switch there. Double sockets here. Again with USB on, so you've got plenty of USB charging points.
I quite like the colours.
Yeah. Good size ladies, I always call that the ladies wardrobe because it's wider. And you know, I've got enough clothes in here to last me a lifetime if I wanted to go away. So, overhead lockers, they look a bit deeper than the ones we have. Sorry, longer, not as deep. I don't think they go back anymore, but they got more height on them. And a good size sunroof over the bed, so that's bigger than what we have, and it'd be a lot easier to keep clean than what we have. Are we buying this because I'm falling in love with it?
No.
Rapidly. You sure? Why? It's not blowing you away. It's doing it for me. What, here?
Yeah.
That's a that. That's like a little plastic thing. I don't know what it is. Well, I do like the fact that that just doesn't slide around easily. You have to push it around, which is quite good. Toilet's bigger. Definitely more room in the shower room. Big cupboard here. 3 shelves. Useful. More shelves here for toiletries or bits and pieces. Nice sink, which actually is a good size mirror as well. Shower's good size too. Shower's a very good size. Got a little shelf built into it here. And without, I don't want to step in because I've got dirty shoes, but just on the other side of the door here is your mixer and your shower adjuster, etc. Somewhere to hang some wet clothing should you need to. And another little open out sunroof. In fact, there's 2 in here like this, which is quite good. Again, I prefer those sort of openers to what we have. So there's 2 of those. And when you stand and look back through the caravan, it's big. Let's have a quick nose around the outside. We're right by a busy main road here, so if you pick up noise. So I wondered what that was, and it's pretty evident it's somewhere to hang your coat. But that's nifty, isn't it? And there's another one down there. So that's quite good. Let's step outside. Not a lot of room here because there's a lot of vans in at the moment. So, quick look at the spec. It's a Swift Conqueror 580. Its unladen weight is 1530, and then the MTPLM is 1686. So that actually works for us. Got a 3-year warranty with it. Hasn't got a motor mover on, so that'd be an extra cost for us unless we transferred the one we had. What you have got though is you've got the Alco ATC, which is excellent. And then I quite like the look of the front. What have we got? We've got gas here. We've got a locker which obviously goes under the seat at the front, which is good. We have the 230 volt external socket for barbecuing, etc. And then we have a double up of a 12 volt and the TV aerial for the external aerial. Here's those details here. So 1530 is the MRO and 1686 is the MTPLM. That would work, I think, quite well on the Kia Sportage. We like the graphics, they're in blue. We've got a awning light, which is actually, interestingly, not above the door, which they often are. It's over the side, which is quite good, I think. Further locker under the bed here, so we know that'll be quite deep. Sorry for the noise now, it's getting noisy. smart at the back. Toilet cassette and your system wash there. A lot of Swift birds on these graphics. And then just moving over here will be your battery compartment, obviously. And then you've got the ultra flow water intake. And you've also got I don't know what that is. Why is it two? I'm not sure. And then you've got your boiler out for your Aldi heating system. That is a very nice caravan. So the Swift Conqueror 580 is 7.54 metres long, 2.28 metres wide, 7'6", so not quite 8 feet wide. We just go over because right next door is the 560. Difference here is, looks like it's the same dimensions, but this has got the island bed at the end on, as they say, 4 berth. So 15.58 kilograms is the unladen, but the empty PLM on this is a bit more, at 17.14. It was only 16 odd on the one next door. So this is actually going to be allowing a bit more. Same price, different layout. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, 7'6" wide. So similar graphics. Everything in the external looks the same, with the end obviously being a bit different because there's no underbed locker at that end there. Let's have a quick look inside though, see what the differences are. So at first glance, this is looking much the same up front in terms of layout. So we've already seen that and we really quite liked it. Kitchen layout, again the same. So that's good. With the extractor hood as well. Again, the same. Fridge is the same. And the space above and below the same. Got a little vanity mirror on the side here. Those two coat hangers, hooks that I spoke about. The difference is here though, look, clearly the bed is not a side transverse bed. It's the end on double. So you're going to go straight into the bathroom area, which I never used to like it, but actually I can see the sense of it, because if you've got people coming to your van, guests, whatever, you haven't got to wander around your bed to go to the loo. So toilet side on, a couple of little shelves there, some cupboards for your toiletries, actually quite big cupboards, it has to be said. Plenty of light in here because there's a big skylight again over the top in the center there, which is nice. Somewhere to hang a towel, again that's good. You can close off obviously for total privacy here, and then one of those sort of corner type shower affairs going on, but it looks really nice actually. Mixer, very stylish. There'll be some lighting in here somewhere, I'm sure. Big vanity mirror over the sink and a good sized sink. One of the biggest problems you have in a washroom is having a sink that you can actually get your head over to have a proper wash and a shave, and that looks pretty good. Under the sink, a big cupboard here, space for more toiletries, etc. And then obviously you've got the walk-through to the bedroom. Now on this side, that's quite good, plenty of room. That side, tight. Certainly for a 6'2" strapping 12.5 stone guy like me. Sorry, did I say 12.5? However, it's not a big deal. Sideways on, you're in. Now I've always checked the bed. Where I've had a challenge with these end beds before is my feet. When I lay on the bed, my feet are touching this centre board here. But I've had a little lay down on this and there's plenty of room. So I really like it. Obviously, somewhere to mount a small TV in the bedroom, 12 volt TV connection and power. So So that's good. Nice sunroof over the bed. Liking this as well. And then window each side, which is good. Apologies for the noise again. We're right by the A47 here at Dereham. And what looks like, at last, equal size wardrobes, which I think is only fair. I don't see why the women should get the big wardrobe. It's just not on. USB points, and a little drawer and a locker at the side of the bed, small shelf somewhere to put a drink in the night, a book and whatever. And then again, right on the end of the van here, you've got your overhead lockers, put some clothing in, and it's pretty much identical on the other side, but you've got a 13 amp socket as opposed to the USB charging point. However, I'm pretty sure, yeah, these spots have got the USB chargers on each one of those. We've also got a couple of speakers over the top of the bed there, which is good. I suspect that the aerial that we saw in the other van will be similar here. So I'm not quite sure how this works. I might ask James about this. So it's obviously DAB for a DAB radio. I've just never seen this before, so I'm going to have to ask what that's all about. If you know, put it in the comments below. But it looks like that is somewhere that's you'd plug a radio into. It's got an auxiliary input here, look. So you may plug a radio into that. Nice van. Nice van. Well, James, who's the sales manager guy I was talking about here, has just pointed out that actually this is the 560 Conqueror as well, but this is the 2022 model. It's brand new. You know, it's brand new, but we've actually got a deal on this. Exactly the same caravan. We've got £2,000 off it, so it's at 33,295. This is in white, whereas the one we were looking at was it had a grey finish, but wouldn't really bother us, to be honest with you. And in terms of the dimensions and details and stuff, 1558 kilograms unladen weight, 1714 MTPLM, 3-year warranty with it. Hasn't got a motor mover on it, but if I did a trade-in, they told me they'd just swap the motor mover over for us, so that'll save £1,000, because none of the new vans come with a motor mover on. That is an extra. As I pointed out before, the bit that you lose is here. You lose this side locker if you've not got a transverse bed. Obviously, transverse, you put a locker underneath there. We've still got a front locker, still got a full-size fridge, which is great. You've got your 230 volts, and you've also got your external barbecue point, gas point, which we don't currently have. That would be a bonus for us, to be honest. And if I just whiz around the back of this, it's open. Oh. So it looks very similar to what we have at the back, and couldn't help but notice got a little bit of a scratch on the back there. Which I'm sure they could sort out one way or another. So similar size van to what we have. In fact, I would say pretty identical. Obviously with a toilet in the centre, that's where your cassette is here. This is your battery compartment. And I meant to ask about the water, why we've got a double water supply going on. Some of you guys will know. So if you do, pop a comment below. I can't think why there's 2 water inlets there. Would be a good reason. Maybe one's for it. I don't know. I won't even try and guess, because I'll make myself look silly. So a quick look inside this. We've got power on in here, so you can see actually some nice LED strip lighting across the top of the units in the kitchen, which run all the way into the lounge area and around. These little side lights are on too. They're nice. Again, some strip lighting, helmet lighting over the top of the cupboards over the fridge. If we go through here, salesman at work, all the lighting's on, brighten it all up, but it does look good. Yeah, same van, £2,000 cheaper. Ah, there is lighting in the shower room, look. I knew there'd be some lighting somewhere. Just over the shower. Radiator down there. Somewhere to hang your towel. And some lighting over the top here. Over the vanity mirror in the bathroom. Good. And I won't need to go into great detail because it is absolutely identical in every way to what we've just looked at. It just was manufactured a year earlier, but apart from that, it's no different. Still got the polythene on all the cupboards. Layout's good. It just seemed wider to me. This is definitely wider than what we've got. James seems to think it was the same, but I don't believe it is. This is wider. This is 7.6 and ours is, I believe, 7.2 or 3. Extractor hood's important for us. James is just going to give us a quick overview of how this radio bit works. So this was the bit I was having a bit of confusion with. James will explain. But it's all part of the command centre then, James?
Yes. So your FM radio, DAB digital radio,
yeah,
just on there. So you have to then find your stations.
Yeah.
Takes a bit of time.
Ah, right.
Scan in and it'll find something. There you go, Heart Norfolk.
Aha. Yeah.
And you've also got auxiliary as well, which is say from.
So if we were to plug a phone in,
yeah,
or an iPad or something like that, I can go in there, and then that can be controlled from the Swift command centre.
Right. And off again. And
Right, that explains that then. Thank you very much.
So what do you think? Would you pay the extra 20 grand and do the upgrade, or would you stick with what you've got? It's a tough decision. We are thinking about it very seriously, but these days, because what we've got is all we've got, we used to do things on the spur of the moment. We were very impulsive purchasers, both Helen and I, but these days less so, because every penny we spend, every pound that we spend is coming out the pot, and that pot will not last forever. So do we wait until we need to upgrade, or do we upgrade now? Tough one, isn't it? Anyway, if you have been, thank you for watching. If you're new around here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment. All those things help the channel grow, and of course, we really appreciate it. See you next week, hopefully with a video about the new jacking system. Bye for now.